next up, it's Mirko Infidia. So, Mirko, are you ready?
Hi everybody. I'm Mirko from Infidia, seamless invoice verification for invoice financing. In the spirit of this event, we changed a bit. So we said that Infidia is the 360 invoice and activity verification platform where small businesses gain access to financing by banks and other lenders. But I really doubt that they would refuse investors, really. So who needs invoice financing? There are a lot of small manufacturers, distributors, service providers, any company actually that has 30 plus due date invoice. Yeah, but due to the lack of trust, many are not getting this finance. And the reasons are many. These are the fraudulent invoices, lack of history data, due diligence, and lack of communication. At the same time, 46% of EU SMEs are seeking for bank loans, and 28% are interested in something that we are actually tackling, and 9% in a service that we are supporting. And while the demand for financing is rising, we all know that, only 15% of SMEs are getting the bank loans. And this is really bad for the society, for the banks, for the SMEs. And Infidia helps both SMEs and banks. SMEs for allowing them invoice financing, which is money in advance based on their invoices, and financial institutions by providing them risk-free and scalable fees, even for small transactions. In doing so, we created an app that actually helps small and distribution companies. I know that because I spent 8 years in those companies, leading them. And we connected this solution to the blockchain backend, which is based on R3 Corda that is already used by financial institutions. So how it works? It's complicated, but every time company makes some kind of activity, makes an effort to go to customer, opens up some document, make an invoice, deliver goods, dilute their invoices, whatever they do, that is a set of hard and soft proofs that are stored in blockchain and that actually serve as a risk-free analysis for the banks. So many would need this service, and there is 22.1 SMEs in European Union, and they contribute to the economy a lot. Globally, there is 2.65 invoices that are used for factoring, and there are 8 trillion euros untapped in these invoices. It's a huge market. So we decided and we realized that we can actually choose who to work with. So we defined our ideal customer profile, which are highly ethical and sustainable companies. Of course, we added some filters that could actually help us in proving the eligibility of these companies to the banks. And we definitely outreach to these companies, and we gain our first six users, and we wrote a blog about them. Because we are willing to share that we are helping the companies that do good for the world. And we are doing good for the world by helping those who do good for the world. In this case, it really separates us from the competitors, as competitors are mostly oriented on large transactions or the service itself, getting into the fees, while we are the only automated solution that specializes for micro transactions. And that is completely different, as our business model is actually transforming. Now we are a freemium model, and we are headed to the subscription model for those who have a lot of invoices, while we know that the main profit lies within the transaction fees. And that's something that we agreed with our customers. And we are headed to the invoice marketplace model. This is counterintuitive, of course, because we are lowering the fees, which is not good for our business, but we really think that we're going to capture a more value in the long run. So within the data model, we really don't know what will happen next. In this, we are using the usual methods, and the team is really quite, I would say, good in this and really well versed in everything. So we gathered the team members to tackle any problem that company can have in actually by being the top 5 startups of the Blockstarter Accelerator, and with a huge help of their mentor and all the team members that really contributed a lot, we realized that we're on a good path, and then we just need to follow this path. And now we are seeking funds for maturing the product, strengthening the business development by people from the US, from the North America and Canada, and getting more clients. You know, that is something that we ask and that we're willing to speak with all the investors. And of course, you can contact me on this email or visit our website, and I'm ready now and really happy to answer all the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mirko. That was 5 minutes sharp.
No, I practiced 20 times.
Good. Floor is yours.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris speaking. Very interesting pitch. Thanks very much. Two questions. Are you actually in factoring or are you providing a marketplace? And B, how do you actually link to the banks? I'm just thinking of all the procedures, KYC, risk management, the banks. How do you do that?
That is really, really excellent. We are the service providers. We are providing that proof that the invoice created is valid. So in those terms, we are helping both banks and factoring companies, because factoring companies are 15% of the overall service providers, and the banks are 85. And when you ask me about how we approach banks, that is something that we really conceived during the Blockstar program, as we acquire the SMEs users that need this service, or they're actually using that service, and we're approaching their banks saying, let us improve this, let us automate this, let us help you to get the higher approval rate, because some of our clients are not getting factoring for all of their clients. Did I answer the question? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hi, can you please tell us a few more things about your traction in terms of actual customers and in terms of collaborations with banks, how many banks and other institutions that you work with?
Yes, this is something that we are tackling now, that we are working on. Since we are part of the Blockstart acceleration program, we are having our bi-weekly meetings with our testers. And we have 6 companies that we're testing, 5 in a program, and 2 that we're getting more clients. But our traction is 0 right now, because we promised our users that we're going to get finance only from their fee, as a fees from the finance that we give them. As these are the companies that are not having a lot of invoices, it's not a problem for us because it's automated solution. But in the future, for companies that will have, I would say, a lot of invoices, we will definitely charge. And these companies are making the second part of the question. These companies are making introductions to their banks. This is the part of the Blockstar program, and they're making the introduction to their banks, and we're going to the meetings. So in those terms, we will have a hectic weeks ahead, as we will approach the people from Raiffeisen Bank and OTP Bank. So this is something that we are preparing for a long time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You actually want to verify the business model locally and then target US overseas market?
Yeah, thank you. We have clients that are mostly from Serbia at this point, and we are actually going globally. But Europe is 65% of all factoring market. And Asia is 23%, and the US is 5%. But I'll share this. We are accepted in the first cohort of Creative Destruction Lab in Toronto, and they are giving us their EMBA students as their help for our project. So later on, we can onboard them as our users, and we have our consultants that are also from Canada. So we are examining what type of finance would be needed in North America, whether we can tackle that with factoring or we can use something else. So our approach is quite broad. We are examining all of that, using the blockchain, and finding a new opportunity. In this case, there is a lot of problems in factoring, so we can really overcome that. For one of our clients, what actually happened is that they used the factoring service, but their client didn't pay to the bank, but paid to them directly. And a bank called them on the phone and said, like, give us back the money. So it's not working really nice. And we are just like going to the banks and saying, like, let us help you. We have a software that's useful for small companies, and we get automated process. So let us help you. So we'll see what happens.
And we're out of time.
Wow.
It was a sharp one. Thank you, Mirko.
Thank you all.